YouTubers, Mike Martin's here, Mike Martin's channel. Guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks for being part of the channel. And today we have a really interesting video on who is the top, who takes the top, who makes the top, who gets the trophy. Well, cities are fighting over now not who's the best city to live in, the best affordable city to live in, the cleanest city to live in, the best attitude to live in. Well, cities are now fighting for a different approach on the horizon. Toronto takes the top spot for the highest ratio of poverty in Canada. Who do they take it from? Well, probably Vancouver. So let's take a look at it. It's for our friends over at Better Dwelling. Toronto takes the top spot for the highest ratio of poverty in Canada. Now, before we read this, or before we get into it and kind of skim through it and discuss key points in the article, I'm going to tell you straight up. The areas that have higher concentration of Canadians in bigger cities that have higher concentration in Canadians, you'll find more homelessness. For some reason, when I'm out and about or going to a big city or checking things out, I noticed that 99% of all the homeless people are Canadian. Okay, 95% and 5% are Aboriginal. It's really, well, I consider Aboriginals Canadian. Like, it's all one, like, anyways, it's the same to me. Like, it's all the same. So, very rarely that you see somebody from another culture be homeless is what I'm trying to say, outside of Canadian, okay? Anyway, so here it is. So now what's going on? So let's take a look. Canada's largest city has claimed the top spot for the rate of people in poverty. So there you go. Across the country, StatsCan data released this morning shows a drop in at least one measure of poverty across the country. As expected, the drop was uneven, though, with some of Canada's major cities seeing a sharp annual increases. Other cities like Toronto saw their rate fall slower than average, allowing the cities to climb higher up the ranks of major cities with higher rates of poverty. That higher rates of property is going up, and this is the mess we're in right now. Instead of actually hinging the GDP on production, exports, properly, actually owning our own gold mines, owning our own, and not selling everything off to China, and not hire any Canadian employees, it becomes harder for the Canadian proper or the Canadian to advance. And you're going to start to see a lot of poverty. Like I said earlier in that video of Minneapolis, the people that could afford to get out got out of the cities. The people that are stuck there or stuck in a contract in a job or stuck in some Mickey Mouse lease, they're going to be having a really tough time leaving the city when the going gets tough. And a lot of people are... I had an email from someone earlier today saying, Mike, I'd be homeless today if it wasn't for my parents helping me. I'd be 100% homeless today. He's 26 years old. Back in the day, if you were 19 and 20, when I was younger, if you were 19 and 20 and you were still living with your parents, people would make fun of you. They think there's something wrong with you. Back in the day, how old is he? 19. He lives with his parents? It's like, yeah. Why? Is he sick? Like, yeah. So everything's changed. Things are changing. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because back in the day, anybody could afford anything. All they needed to do was work part-time, and you could pay your rent and all your expenditures back in the day. Now, it's gotten to a point where you work 2 full-time jobs. You got to live with your parents now. So this is the market basket measure, and this is what basically uses... it's a low-income measure that uses to tell or give us a reading of a poverty line in Canada or where poverty levels are in certain regions, okay? So Canada's official measure of poverty sees a rate drop of 0.7%. Canada is seeing the ratio of people in poverty generally declining across the country, according to the MBM measure. About 11% of Canadians were low income by this measure in 2018, down 0.7% from the year before. This is the lowest rate recorded, but the measure only goes back to 2015. Still, the national decline is substantial, with a lot of major cities failing to keep up. So let's look at the housing crisis we're going in. Okay. So here it is. Canada poverty rate by province. So you got Nova Scotia first, British Columbia, Prince Edward Island, Ontario, Newfoundland, Saskatoon, Canada, Manitoba, New Brunswick, Quebec and Alberta. Now, let's get to the one. Canadian poverty rate by city. Now, bigger concentrations of Canadians, and look at the poverty levels. Because, again, Canada wanted to be the green machine. Open borders, bring in more people. And I don't think that's worked out, Frankie. What do you guys think? You think that's worked out? I don't think so. So Toronto now has the highest ratio of major cities. So let's take a look at it here. Let's read this here. StatsCan municipal breakdown shows Toronto climbed the top spot from Vancouver. Toronto's ratio was 13.9% in 2018, down 0.3% from the year before. This smaller than average decline puts Toronto at the top of the list for people in poverty. Vancouver, which had the former top spot, had a ratio of 12.4%, down 2.5% from a year before. Even though these were the top two regions, they both saw falling rates. It's all right here. Canada poverty rate by city. There it is, guys. So there it is. Toronto. It used to be Vancouver. That's 2017 right there, guys. And there's 2018 right there. And there's Toronto there first. Vancouver. Calgary. Holy crap. Look at the poverty in Calgary. Look at that. Look. Look at this year. Well, closer to this year. Look at that. Holy crap. Because that was, the whole oil thing that was in 2014. Things got worse, and things got a lot worse. And then I know Calgary, I remember in 2017, 2018, they're open for investment, trying to get Chinese investors in Alberta. It never worked. No Chinese came and dropped money into the city and bought up real estate and left it empty. So, yeah, so the people, high concentration of Canadians in these cities, and look what's happening. Winnipeg is up there too. Montreal is up, but not like the year before that one. There's Ottawa. Edmonton is actually, according to this, supposedly on a better track. Quebec is worse. Holy crap. But that's that right there. That's the one you want to see. Not all cities are seeing rates decline, with some cities seeing sharp increases. Calgary made the biggest climb, with the rate reaching 12.3% in 2018, up 3.9% from the year before. Quebec City followed with a rate of 8.4%, up 2.7% from the year before. Ottawa Gatineau area climbed 11.1%, up 0.3% from the year before. Despite a general improvement across the country, 3 out of 8 major cities tracked showed increases. So there it is, guys. There's a little breakdown of what's going on there. Now, Toronto, yes, it's obviously a lot bigger city than Vancouver. Vancouver's very limited to build because you got the mountains behind you, the ocean to your west, and you got to the east you got Burnaby. So the city limits of Vancouver, they're going to make Vancouver into a major city, or they're going to make it into a jumbo city, so they could eliminate more and more people in the chambers of commerce. They're going to start small. What they're going to do is they're going to make Vancouver. They're going to add Burnaby, West Vancouver, North Van, and Richmond. They're going to make that all Vancouver now, proper. I'm actually hinting on that right now here. It hasn't been announced yet, but they're going to try and gobble up as much as they can of those municipalities to put them in under one bigger umbrella, so you have less politics, right? And that's supposed to help, but I don't think it will, because the price of taxes are just keep going up. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Canada is very tough, again, because the limited amount of cities that Canadians could move to. Same thing with Australians, New Zealanders and UKers. The limited amount of cities you can move to and actually become prosperous and do well in life is becoming tougher, and it's becoming harder. So I'm going to leave it with you guys. I'm going to leave that with you guys. I'm going to let you guys comment below and let me know what you guys think in the comments, because this is a lot bigger of a deal. Cities fighting they're not fighting for these top positions. They're gaining these top positions, and it ain't looking good on the score sheet right now, right? So what are they going to do when the middle-class Canadian is basically running to all exits to get out? All the European, I know there's been an increase in Canadians who are first and second generation Portuguese, who had Portuguese grandparents. Somebody emailed me and told me they're taking their Portuguese citizenship, because their grandma was Portuguese. So I'm seeing an increase of Canadians getting citizenship from other countries that their grandparents were from. And there was another one from Malta. There was another one that messaged me too from Greece. No, they're in Toronto. They're moving back to Greece. They lived on the Danforth, down on the Danforth, and it's completely changed. It's changed, and because they cut off immigration from Europe back in the '90s in Canada, it made it really tough for the communities to expand and grow the infrastructure. Where basically we built the infrastructure and we got all deported. Anyways, lots to talk about here in the comments. Comment below. Don't forget to join me tomorrow for Trends in the Housing Market, where we talk about housing, employment, jobs, economy, gold, silver, everything that deals everything that deals and basically ends up on our doorstep. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Thanks for watching.